Imagine waking up every morning, carrying the weight of someone else's story on your back. You look at their success, their progress, their achievements, and suddenly your own journey feels small, inadequate, unfinished. But here's the truth: no one tells you their path is not your path. Every moment you spend comparing yourself is a moment stolen from the life you are meant to live. Think about this. The fastest way to lose yourself is to measure your worth by someone else's standards. You are not designed to be a copy, a shadow, or an echo. You are built with unique talents, experiences, and potential that exist only in you. And the moment you realize that, the moment you stop chasing someone else's life, something powerful happens. You begin to focus on your own growth, your own vision, your own story. Ask yourself, what if all your energy, all your attention, all your worry about keeping up was redirected into building your own version of greatness? What if you truly committed to being the best version of yourself, without distraction, without comparison, without apology? That's where transformation begins. Every glance at someone else's success can either tempt you to envy or remind you of the power you hold when you choose to focus on yourself. Have you ever found yourself scrolling through someone else's achievements, watching them succeed, and suddenly feeling smaller, less capable, or somehow behind? That feeling, the pinch in your chest, the whisper of doubt in your mind, is more common than you think. But what if I told you that the very thing that makes you feel less than is actually a signal pointing you towards something far more powerful? That your journey is entirely unique, and the only way to truly step into your potential is to stop measuring it against anyone else's. From the moment we are born, we are handed invisible measuring sticks. Social media shows us the highlight reels of people's lives. Friends and colleagues display their milestones, and the world seems to shout, "Look at them and compare yourself." It's subtle, but relentless. We are wired to notice what others have, and in noticing, we often overlook the one thing that truly matters: our own path. The irony is painful. We become so obsessed with someone else's destination that we forget we're on a road specifically designed for us, a road that no one else could ever walk. Think about it: no two people experience the world in exactly the same way. The opportunities, challenges, setbacks, and breakthroughs you encounter are yours alone. And yet, every time you glance at someone else's progress and feel envy or frustration, you are giving your power away. You are letting their pace set the rhythm for your life, as though their path could ever define your own. You cannot copy the wind, the rain, or the seasons that shaped them, and you cannot replicate the struggles and triumphs that shaped you. Each step you take is a piece of a story no one else can tell. There's something incredibly liberating about embracing the uniqueness of your journey. When you stop comparing, you start noticing things you never paid attention to: the small victories that prove your resilience, the skills you've developed that no one else has, the lessons learned from mistakes that were uniquely yours. Every setback, every triumph, every late-night struggle has been preparing you for moments no one else could imagine. When you try to match someone else's story, you ignore the nuances that make yours extraordinary. Curiosity becomes your ally when you shift focus inward. Instead of asking, "Why are they ahead of me?" start asking, "What can I learn from my own progress?" Instead of feeling inadequate, wonder, "What hidden strengths have I overlooked in myself?" That shift, subtle as it may seem, transforms every day into a laboratory of personal discovery. Your path becomes less about proving yourself against someone else and more about uncovering the layers of potential that have always existed within you. Emotionally, this realization hits like a wave. There's a weight lifted when you stop the comparison game. The anxiety that comes from keeping up, the self-doubt, the pressure to mirror someone else's achievements, it all begins to dissolve. Suddenly, you are free to move at your own pace, to explore your own opportunities, and to honor the timing of your own growth. The victories, when they come, are sweeter because they are authentically yours. The challenges, though difficult, feel purposeful because they are tailored to prepare you for your unique path. Your journey is not meant to be a reflection of anyone else's. It is an original masterpiece, composed of experiences, lessons, talents, and dreams that no one else possesses. Every step you take is building something entirely new, something that belongs solely to you. To embrace this truth is to reclaim your focus, your energy, and your life. The moment you accept that your path is unique, the world stops feeling like a competition, and it begins to feel like an arena for your own growth. Your journey is yours and yours alone. Measuring your worth by someone else's success is one of the most subtle, yet devastating traps we can fall into. It begins quietly, almost innocently, with a glance at a colleague's promotion, a friend's new achievement, or someone else's recognition. But that small glance can quickly turn into a shadow that stretches over every part of your life. Suddenly, you start to evaluate your own value not by what you've accomplished, not by the progress you've made, but by comparing it to the milestones of others. And in doing so, you give away your sense of self, your confidence, and your power. Think about how this works. Every achievement you see in someone else's life triggers an internal scoreboard. They have done this, therefore I must be behind. They have reached that, therefore I am lacking. But what if I told you that this scoreboard is false? That it is designed to measure things that are completely irrelevant to your own potential. When you allow someone else's path to define your worth, you are essentially letting their life set the rules for yours. You begin to live by someone else's calendar, chase someone else's goals, and measure your happiness by someone else's standards. And the result is exhaustion, frustration, and a lingering sense of inadequacy that never seems to fade. The truth is, your worth is intrinsic. It does not rise or fall based on how someone else performs. It is not dependent on their accolades, their wealth, or their popularity. It exists independently, waiting to be recognized, cultivated, and honored. Every time you measure yourself against another person, you are ignoring the unique combination of experiences, skills, and resilience that only you possess. You are discounting the battles you have fought, the lessons you have learned, and the progress you have made in areas no one else even sees. There is a freedom in realizing that your worth is not comparative. Imagine for a moment that your value is a constant, unshakable force, unaffected by the noise around you. You no longer have to chase approval or validation from external sources. You can focus on sharpening your own talents, growing your own vision, and moving forward at your own pace. Instead of feeling small when others succeed, you begin to see their achievements as inspiration, not as a judgment on your own life. You stop asking, "Am I enough?" and start asking, "How can I honor the potential I already carry?" Curiosity once again becomes your ally. Instead of comparing, you ask meaningful questions. What am I learning from my own experiences today? How can I push myself further without worrying about anyone else? And in that space, growth accelerates. Your energy, previously wasted on envy or self-criticism, is redirected into action, action that builds real progress, real skills, and real confidence. Your journey becomes deeply personal, rich with discovery, and full of meaning that no comparison could ever provide. Emotionally, this shift is profound. The anxiety that came from constantly measuring yourself against others begins to fade. The pressure to catch up or keep pace disappears. You reclaim a sense of agency, a sense of control over your life and your future. And as you embrace your own timeline, your own milestones, your own victories, no matter how small, they start to shine brighter because they are authentically yours. Your worth is not a reflection of someone else's life. It is a reflection of your own growth, your own dedication, and your own potential. Every step forward you take, no matter how quiet or unseen, is proof that your value cannot be measured on anyone else's scale. And the moment you fully embrace this truth, a weight lifts from your shoulders and your energy begins to flow freely. Focus solely on your own growth and your own life. Your potential and talents exist only in you. Pause for a moment and let that sink in. Really feel it. There is no one else in the world with your exact combination of experiences, skills, mindset, and creativity. No one else has walked the path you've walked, faced the challenges you've faced, or discovered the lessons that only life could teach you through your eyes. Yet so often, We look outward for validation, for proof that we are capable, for signs that we are enough. The truth is, all the proof you need is already inside you, waiting to be acknowledged, nurtured, and unleashed. It's easy to admire someone else's talent and think, I could never do that. But what we fail to realize is that the very things that make them successful are not transferable to us. They belong to their unique life story. Meanwhile, the gifts you carry have been quietly growing inside you, sometimes unnoticed, sometimes doubted, but always present, waiting for the moment you stop looking at others and start investing in yourself. Your ideas, your creativity, your resilience, these are not copies of anyone else's. They are original, untapped, and extraordinary. Imagine the possibilities if you truly embraced this idea. Instead of feeling small when you see someone else's achievements, you begin to see your own path as a landscape of untapped potential. Every challenge you face is training you for the version of yourself that only you can become. Every skill you develop, every lesson you learn, every moment of struggle is a building block for your unique future. And the more you focus on cultivating your own talents, the more you realize that your potential is not something to compete for, it's something to honor, explore, and expand. This is where curiosity transforms into action. Instead of asking, why are they better than me? Ask, what can I develop in myself that no one else can? Instead of feeling envy, start experimenting, creating, and refining your own strengths. The world does not need another copy. It needs your originality, your perspective, your talents expressed in your own way. The sooner you recognize this, the sooner you stop wasting energy trying to fit into someone else's mold and start shaping your own masterpiece. Emotionally, this awareness is liberating. There is a weight that lifts the moment you understand that you are not in a race to prove yourself against anyone else. You no longer measure your accomplishments with someone else's ruler, and you no longer shrink in the shadow of other people's success. Instead, you begin to move forward with confidence, curiosity, and focus, knowing that the value you bring to the world is exclusive to you. Every small step, every effort you make toward developing your abilities, every experiment and failure, it all contributes to a version of success no one else could ever replicate. Consider for a moment the uniqueness of your mind, your intuition, your problem-solving skills. There are ideas you can conceive, solutions you can create, and contributions you can make that only you are capable of bringing into existence. And when you finally start to nurture these gifts, to give them attention and care, a remarkable thing happens. You stop feeling inadequate. You stop doubting your place in the world. And you begin to see your own life as a field of possibilities rather than a comparison to others. Your potential and talents are not borrowed. They are inherent. They exist in you now, fully formed in their own way, waiting for you to claim them, develop them, and bring them into reality. When you finally accept that the value of your abilities is unique and cannot be measured against anyone else, you unlock a freedom that allows you to move forward with purpose and clarity. Redirecting your energy from envy to personal growth and vision is one of the most powerful shifts you can make in your life. Think about how much of your time, your attention, and your emotions have been spent on comparing yourself to others, wondering why they are ahead, why they have what you don't, or why their journey seems easier or faster. That energy, when spent on someone else's path, accomplishes nothing for your own. It drains you, clouds your focus, and steals the momentum that could be driving your own life forward. The moment you decide to redirect that energy inward, something extraordinary begins to happen. Imagine this: every thought that once fueled envy, every moment of frustration at someone else's progress, every silent judgment of yourself for not measuring up, all of it becomes fuel for your own growth. Instead of asking, why do they have this and I don't? You start asking, what can I create? What can I improve? How can I move closer to my vision today? That one subtle shift transforms wasted energy into intentional action. The same hours you spent worrying about someone else can now be spent sharpening your skills, learning something new, or building the life you've been imagining. There's a reason this feels hard. Envy is seductive. It masquerades as motivation, whispering that you need to catch up or prove yourself. But true motivation comes not from trying to outdo someone else. It comes from the fire inside you, the part of you that knows what you are capable of, the vision of the life you are meant to create. When you focus on that vision, envy loses its power because you no longer see life as a competition. You see it as an opportunity, a personal arena to develop, experiment, and grow. Curiosity and focus work hand in hand here. Ask yourself, what steps can I take today that my future self will thank me for? What skills, knowledge, or habits will bring me closer to my own goals? Every answer, every action, every experiment becomes a building block for your personal development. And here's the remarkable part: when you channel your energy this way, you begin to experience progress in a way that feels entirely your own. You stop living in someone else's shadow, and you begin walking fully in the light of your own potential. Emotionally, this shift is transformative. The frustration that comes from constant comparison fades. The anxiety about keeping up dissolves. You reclaim a sense of control over your life, knowing that your efforts are measured not by someone else's success, but by your own growth, your own vision, and your own journey. Every step forward, no matter how small, becomes proof that you are moving in the right direction, proof that your focus is building something real, something lasting, something uniquely yours. This redirection also brings clarity. When you invest your attention in personal growth, you begin to see opportunities where before there were only distractions. You notice the skills you need to develop, the experiences that will prepare you for bigger challenges, and the habits that will shape your future. Instead of being envious of someone else's accomplishments, you start celebrating your own progress, understanding that every improvement, no matter how modest, is a victory in your story. The key is consistency. Every time you catch yourself comparing, take a conscious step to redirect that energy into action. Let your focus be the compass that guides you toward your personal vision, rather than letting the lives of others dictate your feelings, your choices, or your self-worth. Over time, this redirection compounds, creating momentum that propels you toward the life you were meant to live. When you finally choose to channel your energy inward, to focus on growth and vision rather than envy, you step into a life where progress is yours to define and success is measured by your own standards. True transformation begins when you focus solely on yourself. Think about how often we allow the noise of the world, opinions, comparisons, judgments, to dictate our choices, our energy, even our sense of possibility. We get pulled in 100 directions, trying to meet expectations, keep up with others, or conform to someone else's definition of success. And in the process, we forget the most important person in the equation: ourselves. Real growth, real change, begins the moment you stop looking outward for validation and start looking inward for direction, purpose, and focus. When you focus solely on yourself, you create a clarity that is impossible to find in distraction. You begin to understand the rhythm of your own journey, the unique combination of timing, talent, and opportunity that exists only in your life. Every decision, every effort, every moment of persistence becomes intentional. You stop chasing after what others are doing, and you start building toward what only you are meant to achieve. That shift, small at first, but relentless, sets the foundation for transformation that is authentic, lasting, and deeply fulfilling. Consider this: the world is full of distractions that can pull you off course. Social media feeds filled with curated successes, friends and colleagues sharing their milestones, even well-meaning advice from those who mean to guide you. All of it can become noise if you allow it. But the moment you decide that your focus is yours alone, the noise fades. Suddenly, you can hear the voice that matters most, your own. It is the voice that knows what you are capable of, the voice that understands your goals, and the voice that pushes you to honor your potential without compromise. Curiosity becomes your compass. Instead of asking, "How do I measure up?" you begin asking, "How do I improve today in a way that aligns with my vision?" You experiment, you take risks, you learn from mistakes, and every step forward reinforces your sense of agency. Each effort is no longer a comparison, It is a contribution to the masterpiece of your own life. You realize that transformation is not an event, but a process, a series of intentional actions that accumulate day by day, moment by moment, to create a version of yourself that is stronger, wiser, and more capable than you were yesterday. Emotionally, the effect is profound. The anxiety, the self-doubt, the exhaustion that comes from trying to keep pace with everyone else begins to vanish. You reclaim your energy and redirect it into what truly matters: your growth, your vision, and your life. The victories you achieve are no longer fleeting or borrowed. They are yours, earned by your focus, your dedication, and your refusal to be distracted by anyone else's story. And as you move forward, you realize that the journey itself, with its lessons and challenges, becomes a source of empowerment rather than comparison. This focus also cultivates resilience. When you concentrate on yourself, you develop the ability to withstand setbacks, the clarity to navigate uncertainty, and the patience to honor your own timeline. You no longer panic when progress seems slow, because you understand that real growth cannot be rushed. You learn to celebrate incremental victories and trust the process of your own development. Each day, each effort, each small improvement becomes a stepping stone toward transformation that no external standard could ever dictate. True transformation is not borrowed, copied, or measured by anyone else. It is crafted, cultivated, and claimed by the one person who matters most to you. When you focus solely on yourself, the distractions fade, the comparisons lose their power, and the life you are meant to live begins to take shape, moment by moment, step by step. Now listen closely. Your journey, your potential, your talents, and your vision are unlike anyone else's. No one can live your life for you. No one can create what only you can create. And no one can walk your path with the unique strength, resilience, and brilliance that you carry. Every moment you spend comparing yourself, doubting yourself, or chasing someone else's story is a moment stolen from the extraordinary life waiting for you. Today, I challenge you to reclaim that time, that energy, and that focus. Stop measuring yourself against anyone else. Stop wondering if you are enough. Instead, step boldly into the power that already exists within you. Nurture it, invest in it, and act on it. The world does not need another copy. It needs your originality, your vision, your unstoppable energy, and your courage to bring your life fully to its purpose. From this moment forward, let every thought, every action, and every decision be guided by one question: how can I grow, excel, and become the best version of myself today? Let that question drive you, inspire you, and propel you forward. Let it be the spark that turns your potential into achievement, your dreams into reality, and your vision into a legacy that no one else can replicate. You are powerful. You are unstoppable. The only thing standing between you and the life you were meant to live is the choice to focus, the choice to act, and the choice to honor your own journey without apology. So go forward with confidence. Embrace your path, cultivate your talents, celebrate your growth, and never ever compare yourself to anyone else again. Your life is yours to master, yours to create, and yours to shine. Good luck on your journey, and thank you for daring to step into the power and potential that only you can bring to this world.